Hello there, Seraphim17 once again, introducing you to my Max Payne 3 hardcore difficulty video walkthrough. This is chapter 9, here I was again, halfway down the world. So we're back in Brazil, and back in that awesome sunny Hawaiian shirt thing, and this is an interesting level, because for the first part you're going to be running around and you're going to be seeing shit kicking off, but you don't really have to do much. Right there was a desert eagle on the floor that I didn't pick up for some reason. There we go. Love me some of that. I think it were a desert eagle anyway. It may not have been, this screen is kind of small, but for the most, the only people you have to shoot are two guys on a corner coming up, and then after that you get blown up, and then you're back to being Heidi running around again. So it's kind of a weird expositional level to show you that the favelas are being raided, basically. It's going to shit and the police are turning up. And I'm going to say one thing now, guys. This is when the enemies turn into fucking bullet sponges. I don't know if Rockstar have to, you know, suck up to the police, because the games generally portray them in a very dark light, but the police take so much more hammer than any other enemy on this game. It's kind of ridiculous. And I realise they're probably wearing armour, flak jackets, all that good stuff, but you can shoot them in the face 5 times and they're still smiling at you as if the gold teeth block the bullets or something. It's just stupid. And they do have helmets which you can knock off and all that good jazz, but just be aware, you're going to have to start putting a lot more bullets into people than you want to. And there's a couple of hilarious moments in my guide coming up where there's a dude on the floor because I've knocked him down with gunfire, and I'm just shooting him, and it's just like, bang, bang, you're going to die, son, come on, bang, bang, and it gets silly. It gets full-on obnoxious, but what can you do? It's just how the game is. So the first guy that comes up is this kid, so take him out swiftly, and then there's another one across from you. And then there's 2 more on the ground that are going to spawn when you start going down towards them. I make a mistake though, and I don't think this gunfight goes very well, so just excuse me. So there's this kid here, clean him up as quick as you can. There's the file to pick up, although it's called something different on this game. And as soon as you come down to here, 2 guys are going to spawn from that alleyway where the tyre is, just to the left of that tyre that you can see. There they are. Ah, that's what I did wrong. I never picked up this SMG my first time through, and there's an achievement, I think, for killing everybody with every gun. So I picked this up thinking it was going to be pretty cool, and it's a bag of shit. Do not use this SMG, it is so fucking rough. So watch this. It's like, how many bullets does it take to kill these guys? Come on, gun. Do your job. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like, come on. So yeah, I'm not going to be using that SMG much, but it doesn't really matter because these guys are going to drop what looks like a variant on a G36. And you want to pick it up because it's powerful. And I don't really know if the weapons stats are different or if they're all pretty much the same. I think the only real difference is how much ammo they can carry, and there's not much difference in that. So it's just all down to aesthetics and how they sound, I guess. But I'm one of those type of people that if I see a new gun and I've not used it, or I've not used it for a while and I've been using something for quite some time, I'm going to change just for the difference because I enjoy it. Right, 2 more guys on this corner here. I know they're going to come, so I just do a shoot dodge to try and clean them up, and I don't think it works too great. So look at that, I didn't even kill one of them. Look at this bullshit. They're both dancing, I'm in trouble because I'm on the ground, and they're still not dead. Oh, there we go. Just took a turd on his face. That'll do. But yeah. Oh, from now on, shoot people plenty, or you're just going to get killed. Kind of the moral of the rest of this, but this level's very simple, it's very easy, you shouldn't have too much issue with it, so I'm going to talk about some other stuff. I don't know about you, but if anybody has a Gamefly account or a Love Film account and you've got games on there, I feel obliged to play the games that I'm renting because I'm paying monthly for them, and it kind of makes me put games that I want to play behind games that I feel like I have to play. So what I mean by this is right now I have Max Payne 3, a game that I'm in love with and I'm having a lot of fun with. And I started Final Fantasy 13 too last night because it's on my rental service, and I didn't really want to because I hated Final Fantasy 13. I think 13 is probably the worst one they've ever made, and that's counting the MMOs, and they're fucking terrible. But I am by no means the guy to talk about Final Fantasy 13 with, because chances are if you like it, I'm probably going to crush your dreams, because I don't think there is a single redeeming factor about that game except for the graphics. That is it. Everything else, I hated. So you're probably wondering, why the hell would I want to go near Final Fantasy 13 too? Well, I'm kind of like the news presenter in the bukkake Japanese pornography, where I just kind of sit there and read the news and just take it and take it and take it, because I love Final Fantasy, and I've loved Final Fantasy for a long time thanks to my friend Aiden, who got me into it. And when I say I loved Final Fantasy, I started on 7, which is where a lot of people started, and I loved them all up to 10, and then I don't think after 10, I mean 10-2 was good, but it wasn't really... And it wasn't really a Final Fantasy, because it was more of like just an offshoot type thing. But I don't think they've made a good one after 10. I really don't. And I think a lot of this is down to that they lost the creative director, because he left, or he got sacked, or whatever happened. There was a dispute and Hironobu Sakaguchi left, and the guy writ and pretty much directed 1 to 10. And he made it what it was, because when he left, the games turned to shit. They had a lot of RPG features that people enjoyed, but they were never as special or as magical as the old ones to me. And I've put 13-2 on because I want to try it, because, you know, who knows, this could be amazing. And I've started playing it, and I've got to say, I like it a lot. It's not, you know, there's problems with it, and I don't think it compares even remotely to the older ones, but it's fun. I'm enjoying it, and it's a massive improvement over the linear snorefest that was 13. And I've been playing it, and it's one of those games where you can rush ahead and get to the next section without fighting too many enemies, if you just do it by mistake, or if you do it on purpose. And sometimes they throw mandatory boss fights at you that are assuming you've leveled a lot more since the last one. So I ended up getting myself into a massive spot of bother with a boss, where his first move nearly killed my entire team, and I'd gone from not even having to heal to full on having to do nothing but heal, and that transition was a painful one, and I ended up using nearly all my Phoenix Downs and all my potions to beat him. And at the time I'd not used a single one, so I had loads of them because I was getting bonuses after battle. I was finding them from doing quests and things, and I was stacked. And then I suddenly went from having loads to having nothing after one boss fight, and then I went to the shop and all the items were super expensive. I was like, whoa, I've clearly played this wrong. And I went to the next section and started doing some battling to try and make up, and I hit another boss and didn't realise I would, and he's the last boss, I'm assuming, because he's the dude from the cutscene at the start, and he destroyed my team because I got him really close to low life, and then he did a move that killed one of my party members, and for some reason he put regen on himself and completely regained his life in seconds. And it just got to the point where he was doing massive damage to me, and I just couldn't get his life down. And I have no class to dispel the buffs that he has, so I'm going to have to rethink my paradigms a little bit, and maybe level up something so I can get a synergist or a synergist or whatever can use dispel, because I got myself into a shit spot last night, and it was pretty interesting. But a couple of things that I really like. I like that they've put the exploration kind of back into it. It's limited, but it's there. I'm glad that the shops are better, because the shops on the old one were kind of gay. These actually have some context. I like the fact that there's quests and you can talk to people. You can't talk to everybody, but you can talk to enough people. And I really like the music. And don't get me wrong, it's nothing like Nobuo Uematsu, who is the master of Final Fantasy music, but it's interesting because I've never really heard anything like it. And what I mean by this is, all the songs for each environment seem to have a Japanese lady singing in them. And I don't know, I've got a soft spot for Japanese ladies singing English, because they can never do it really all that great. There's a couple, don't get me wrong, that are fantastic, but for the most, you can always kind of tell that they're not English, or they're not, you know, it's not their first language, because they say things in a way that you don't pronounce it when you come from that area. And it adds a charm to the music, and the music is great. But, like, the Chocobos are back, and they seem to have more involvement than they did before. I'm not the biggest fan of turning them into these giant, you know, manly birds, because they seem to have invested in them since, I think it was 11, the MMO that introduced them as really muscly and really hairy, and kind of, they look a bit like Dog the Bounty Hunter, and I'm not really down with that, but I like how you can run around in the levels with them, because on 13 you could only do it in that one place with all the Adamantoises, and that kind of fucking sucked. But it's fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to play it, and I can honestly say I wasn't excited to play 13, because all 13 was it was pretty much a racing game with cutscenes at every checkpoint, because it was just straight lines A to B, traversing, getting to the next bit of exposition, and the exposition was garbage, because Final Fantasy hasn't had decent character development, plot development, or a good story since 10, and if you disagree, that's awesome, we have different opinions, I just think you're wrong. But this is kind of disappointing, this moment, killing a boss in a cutscene rather than actually getting to shoot it out with him, but there you go. That's the end of the level, guys. Thanks for watching, and you take care now.